Tonight we report on an agreement between Grant PUD and Crescent Bar residents, and Mattawa is looking to make its main street through town safer for drivers. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Thanks, Alan. Afraid of baseball shuts out Wapato, and Moses Lake softball rolls past Davis. Here's a quick glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Chastelyn Rodriguez. Mostly sunny skies for our region within the next few days. However, some disturbance may come through Friday night into Saturday. I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The Grant PUD commissioners agreed to create a new lease for Crescent Bar Island residents to stay until 2052. In order to create the lease, the PUD must have a lawsuit settlement approved by a federal judge. To start the process of creating the settlement, the commissioners voted 3-1 to authorize General Manager Tony Webb to execute a memorandum of understanding paving the way for a settlement to the lawsuit filed against the PUD by the island's residents in 2011. Both sides opted to pursue a settlement based on the recommendation of U.S. District Court Judge Justin Quackenbush. With both sides agreeing to settle, the final paperwork must be approved by Quackenbush before they proceed with creating a new lease agreement between the homeowners and the PUD. The new lease would last until April of 2052. According to spokesperson Chuck Allen, the PUD will be requesting public input on how to develop recreation areas on the island. Carl's Jr. is opening in Moses Lake on Monday with a grand opening, including a ribbon cutting and giveaways. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Moses Lake's first Carl's Jr. restaurant opens at 9 a.m. Monday with lunch. Owner Paul Jones said Carl's will give away free food for a year to 50 customers throughout the day as a first-day promotion. Jones on Wednesday was overseeing final touches and training some of the 60 employees he hired to run the restaurant at 1765 Kittleson Road near Interstate 90 in the former Wise Guys restaurant building. It will be Jones's 5th Carl's Jr. franchise in Eastern Washington. Jones, who lives in Ellensburg, explained why he located the 78-seat fast food restaurant in Moses Lake.
I love the location, great visibility, freeway access. It's a great community. You've got a growing population with a lot of good things going on here, a lot of infrastructure in the city, and it seems like a good volume place to be.
Jones said the restaurant will be in about 3,300 square feet with about 1,500 square feet to lease out to another retail shop. The store will be open from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and around the clock on Fridays and Saturdays. Jones shared his professional background in the region's fast food industry.
I started working fast food when I was 16 years old. I worked for other companies for about 14 years before I was able to break off and actually do my own restaurant. And so I had an opportunity to build a Carl's Jr. in Ellensburg, which is where I built my first store 3 years ago. 6 months later, I built another one in Yakima, and then I've recently acquired the 2 in Kennewick.
Moses Lake Chamber of Commerce will welcome Carl's Jr. with an 8 a.m. ribbon cutting Tuesday. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
That's right.
It's right.
People driving in Mattawa may see changes to Government Road. The Grant County Commissioners approved a $52,000 grant to the city of Mattawa to develop a plan to redesign the main street through the city. The grant was from the Strategic Infrastructure Program, which uses sales tax money to fund projects aimed at economic development. The road is home to 34 businesses, which employ about 250 people. Mattawa Mayor Scott Heineman stated, "Officials are concerned about the safety of drivers because it doesn't have a defined boundary for people parking on the side of the road. The road doesn't have a turning lane, causing traffic to back up or stop suddenly because vehicles are waiting to turn across the constant traffic in the oncoming lane." As a result of the issues, the city formed a committee to develop a plan to change the road. The study is expected to examine the traffic, parking, and how much land the city can access if it changes the road. And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.